This is the reading lesson for Wednesday, April 15th, 2020, prepositions and prepositional phrases. All right. Definition. A preposition is a word that shows how other words in a sentence are related. Words such as about, by, in, of, on, to, and under are prepositions. If you were in a Montessori 1, 2, 3, you know that prepositions are the green bridge and when you are doing grammar symbols. So, and when we would talk about them in my classroom, we talked about them being position words. A prepositional phrase, which is all the words in that prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends in a noun or a pronoun. The noun or pronoun is called the object of the preposition. For example, the emperor penguins of Antarctica spend winter on the open ice. All right, if we were to symbolize this in Montessori symbols, article, and article. Who or what is the sentence about? The sentence is about penguins. So penguins is the noun. Which I've lost my black. Well, I'm going to use a permanent marker and hope my whiteboard survives. Remember, a noun or sentence is about the penguins. What kind of penguins? Adjective. They are emperor penguins. Okay. What do? They spend. So they spend, which is a verb. Winter, which in this case is a noun. On the open ice. On what? On ice. What kind of ice? Open ice. On is our preposition, our position word. And of is also a position word, of Antarctica. All right. This noun, Antarctica, talks about these penguins. Ice talks about how they spend. Okay. A preposition tells about the relationship between the object of the preposition, which is the object of the preposition is your noun or your pronoun at the end. Of Antarctica is my object. On the open ice, ice is my object. And another word in the sentence. Emperor penguins swim under the ice when they hunt. Okay, here is my prepositional phrase, under the ice. Ice is my object, talks about where they swim. I recently saw a movie about these amazing penguins. About these amazing penguins is our prepositional phrase. Penguins is our object of the preposition, and it tells about the movie. A prepositional phrase sometimes tells how, when, where, or what kind. In the sentences you just read, the prepositional phrase under the ice tells where the penguins swim. The prepositional phrase about the amazing penguins tells what kind of movie that it was. Okay, so At the bottom of your page, we have some practice ones to do. And I'm going to see if I can move my computer down to make this better. Alright, so we have emperor penguins breed in the winter. Well, we know the sentence is about penguins, and what they do is breed. Our preposition is in, and our whole phrase is in the winter. Alright, so they in the winter talks about how they breed. Female emperor penguins lay eggs on the ice. Our sentence is about penguins, female emperor penguins. What they do is they lay eggs. Our preposition is on. Our prepositional phrase is on the ice. And it talks about how they lay. Males watch the eggs while the females travel to the sea. Alright, so this one is a really long sentence, but our prepositional phrase is just down here. To. So our phrase is to the sea, and it talks about how they travel. The warmth of the male's feathers protects the eggs. Alright, our prepositional phrase is in the middle this time. The warmth of the male's feathers. Here's our verb, so we're going to stop because remember the end of our prepositional phrase is a noun or a pronoun. We're going to underline. Of is our preposition. Our prepositional phrase is here. Feathers goes with warmth. The females return and provide, so there's two verbs here, food for the little chicks. Alright, so our preposition is for. The whole phrase is for the little chicks. And they're connected to the verb provide. Provide for the little chicks. Alright, on the next page, you have some to do on your own. Make sure you read the directions because each one of them has a different set of directions to go with it. On the page after the independent practice for prepositional phrases, there is a narrative poem. And remember, narrative poems are poems that tell stories. The narrative poem is called Anna's Monsters. It's 2 pages long. We need to talk about the word stanza. I'm going to take this down. And let it fall. And this is the word stanza. Alright, stanza, I don't know if that's dark enough for you. Stanza is in the questions on the next 2 pages. It talks about what stanza, what stanza, what stanza. Stanza in a poem is the same as a paragraph. That's what we can compare it to as a paragraph in a story. In your poem, the stanzas are numbered. They're going to ask you in one of the questions to compare stanzas 2 and stanzas 3. So you have to read stanza 2 and stanza 3 and then make a comparison between the two. So You read the poem. The poem is 2 pages long, so the poem starts on page 23 and goes 23, 24, and then you have questions on page 25 and 26 to answer about the poem. Those are your reading lessons for Wednesday, April 15th.